Today's video is sponsored by GSJJ. If you're interested or just curious about how to turn your art into merchandise or products, you should keep watching because maybe you want to try out GSJJ yourself. Hi guys and welcome to today's video. Today's video is going to be a bit different than my usual content, but I promise I'll make it as insightful and worth your while as possible. Especially if you're interested in making merchandise with your own art or is just generally curious about it. I recently teamed up with GSJJ in order to try and make my very own hard enamel pin designs as well as custom embroidery patches. And if you don't already know GSJJ or haven't heard about them before, it's a site owned by BPS, also known as Branded Promotional Solutions, and they specialize in manufacturing of products such as hard and soft enamel pins, stickers, embroidery patches, buttons, and much more. You can get a full overview of their products on their website if you want to check it out for yourself. The site is pretty easy to navigate and each product has its own subpage where you can read more about them and get a free quote without any human contact, but I'll get back to that in a minute. For this collaboration I made 2 original designs for hard enamel pins as well as 2 original designs for custom embroidery patches. That's hard to say that fast 10 times. GSJJ let me choose freely from the catalog on their website to choose the products that I wanted to try out, and since I've been into buying hard enamel pins and custom embroidery patches myself lately, I also kind of wanted to try and dip my toes in it and try and make some myself. And let me be straightforward, I went into this completely blind. I have never designed enamel pins before. I've never designed anything for custom patches before. I know there are some limitations and design rules to designing products like this, but I come with 0 experience. So I was 100% dependent on the guidance from the manufacturer. I want to take you through the process that I went through so that you can see how my designs went from digital artwork to finished products. Going into this for the first time can seem a bit scary, I know it was for me, so I hope that by showing you the process you'll gain the courage to jump into it yourself, because it is a really great experience. So I started by sketching a lot of different ideas, really overthinking it, creating designs, scrapping them, creating other designs, scrapping those. Like it was a really long cycle until I just sat down one day and was like, okay, design something that I would go over to an artist and buy. And from that, for the patches, I designed a sun fox and a moon fox. For the pins, I picked a bit more of an edgy theme, an old cup that says creative fuel, and a tombstone with a do not disturb statement on it. Any sort of products I make, I always try to create designs as if I made them for myself, which was really emphasized in this process because I was completely overthinking these designs. I mean, if I wouldn't want to have them, how can I expect others to? And these were all designs that I would ultimately be interested in buying myself if I spotted them in a shop or at an artist alley or something similar. I also quickly want to add here that at GSJJ, it's okay to just upload your designs as raster art, which is basically just pixel-based art that is not vectorized. So, you know, like JPEGs or PNGs and all that kind of jazz. GSJJ are more than happy to help vectorize your art if you don't know how to do it yourself or if you just don't have access to apps like Illustrator, and they don't even charge an additional fee for it. In my case, I knew they were going to vectorize my art anyway, and since I have experience with Illustrator, I figured I might as well just do it myself. So that's what I did. When I finally finished vectorizing my art and the designs were ready, I sent them to my appointed designer at GSJJ. For the pin specifically, I also created this little guide thingy that I attached along with my files. You don't have to do this, but it really helps your manufacturer to understand what you want better. In my case, I just emailed them all the info because we were already in dialogue because we are collaborating on these designs, but normally you will just submit a request for a quote on their website and start the conversation that way. Getting a quote, by the way, is super easy and you don't even have to be in contact with a human person to get the quote. Let me show you how to do that. To get a quote for your designs, go to the website and select the product that you want. Let's just pick enamel pins for this example because I made enamel pins. Each product type has its own subpage on their website. To get started getting your no strings attached free quote, click the free quote quick order button on the product page to get started. You'll now get a pop-up, kind of like a questionnaire, where you have to pick and choose the different physical options of your design. This input form or questionnaire is designed specifically for each of the products, so it's different depending on which product you want a quote on. All the way through the form, you can see whether you're picking something that will increase the unit price of your design. Basically, the more bells and whistles you add, the more the unit price increases. That goes without saying. GSJJ also offers to make you custom backing cards for a one-time setup fee and then a unit price per card, so you don't have to do all that stuff separately. Lastly, select how many units you plan to order and how long you're willing to wait for your products. Giving GSJJ more time will give you a discount on your order. Select your currency here and now you should get a quote without human contact at all. No strings attached. Here you can see the unit price of your designs, the total costs, and if there is a mold involved, you can also see the cost of the mold. Speaking of molds, if you're curious to see how enamel pins are actually made and the surprisingly circumstantial handmade process it requires, take a look at this video that I found on GSJJ's own YouTube channel. I had no idea how enamel pins were made, and I honestly thought it was way less complicated. Creating pins requires a lot of work and a lot of processes, so if you're curious, definitely go take a look at this video. Once you place your order or submit your inquiry, you'll be able to communicate with one of GSJJ's designers who will help you with your designs and send you the design proofs. Nothing is going into production before you have approved the design proofs, so you can calmly submit your order without any stress. Only a few days after submitting my designs, they sent me the design proofs of the products. These design proofs will hold all the information about your products, including the Pantone colors that they intend to use for your designs. And just in case you're not familiar with Pantone colors, it's basically a standardized, I can't say that word, standardized, let's just say. It's basically a universal color matching system which is widely used around the world. It helps printers and designers to specify and control colors for printing and manufacturing. You can get these sort of Pantone color books or fans if you will, so you can check your Pantone colors at home. But I don't have one of these yet and they're pretty expensive where I'm from, so I was relying on random Google images of Pantone colors and the expertise of the GSJJ designers. I made them aware of this and asked them if I could get a color-proof image sent of each product before the entire batch was made, since I didn't really have any other way to check the colors, and they happily obliged and just sent me the previews. After seeing the design proofs and the first color preview photos, I made a few color alterations to the embroidery patches, and my contact was even so nice to send me pictures of their specific thread colors so that I could pick the ones I wanted to replace the current colors. After seeing the new preview images and I was satisfied, I went ahead and approved all of the designs for production. They told me it would take up to 2 weeks to get all of the products done, so all I had to do now was sit back and wait patiently for them to finish production, which was hard, as you can imagine. I was very excited at this point. And it turns out they were actually faster than anticipated, and only 10 days after that I was told the production had started, I received the products in my mail. They were shipped with FedEx and arrived in perfect condition. GSJJ even offers free shipping to the United States, United Kingdom, Canada, and Australia. So, are you also excited to see how my designs turned out up close and personal? Here's the unboxing of my products. I feel like even though I'm recording this afterwards, I get all excited again. First, I took a look at the patches. I am so satisfied with how these came out. The colors are so vibrant and the details turned out so good. There were a few tiny details that I ended up getting removed on the Sunfox because they would have been too small and I didn't want to increase the size of my patches. And I think that was a good call because the tiny details here, I can't imagine them being any tinier. And I seriously can't wait to sew these on my backpack. They are iron-on patches, but the specific texture on my backpack is not good to stick on, so I'll have to stitch them on by hand, but I really don't mind, I just want them on there immediately. Before I emotionally explode, let's take a look at the pins. I'm also super happy with how they came out. They're exactly how I wanted them and even better than that, I think. And as you can see, I also sent them my logo to put on the backside of the pins, so that's also an option for you, which is pretty cool because people have a tendency to just throw away the backing cards, and after that they have no chance of remembering who the pins were from unless they like really specifically knew you. So this is pretty cool, so people can go back and check out your future stuff. I was a bit nervous about the outcome of the creative fuel design because I felt like I had really pushed the limits in terms of tiny details on this one. But this pin also turned out exactly as I wanted it, and I'm honestly so pleased with the outcome. I seriously can't thank GSJJ enough for realizing my design so well and being such champs throughout the entire process, with me being completely clueless about, well, mostly everything. Another really cool service that I got that I want to mention that you can get with GSJJ is the fact that they can make 3D renders of your pin designs so that you can use them to promote your designs on, I don't know, Instagram, Kickstarter, whatever you're using them for. I just really want to mention this because they look heckin' cool. I am honestly so satisfied with how these products turned out. I mean, so satisfied. It's a bit surreal to have designed these as digital artwork and then sitting here with them in my hands, feeling them. It's a pretty incredible feeling, and I only recommend you trying it out for yourself because And if you're interested in getting these for yourself, they will be launched on my Etsy when I reopen it here in July. I hope in the beginning of July, but we'll see. If you want to receive news of when it's gonna happen exactly, just keep an eye out here on my YouTube. I will announce it in a video, but you can also join my mailing family and sign up for my newsletter if you want to be among the first to always receive news from me. The link to the sign up form is in the description. And if you're interested in making products of your own, I've also included links to GSJJ's websites along with a link to their Discord server where you can talk with their staff and other artists about creating custom products from your artwork. And thank you so much for watching my video, guys. I hope you found it interesting or insightful in any way. I know it's a bit different than my usual content, and I will consider this kind of like behind the scenes kind of stuff, but I also know that some of you guys actually appreciate me uploading that once in a while. I will stop blabbering now and let you move on with your hopefully amazing day. So thanks so much for watching, guys. Like and subscribe, all that jazz. I'll see you next time.